Excellent. Bam, bam. Guys, I made it back. Listen, sorry for the ball drop last time when I tried the 420 hump day break. Tried to get it going and had some audio difficulties. So I had basically a 3-year-old type meltdown right here on the live cast. So my apologies for that. Dr. Dan, Ozark MMJ Cards. Guys, I just wanted to introduce the topic of microdosing. I know I'd started this on my last live cast, I think maybe a week and a half ago, and I wanted to really jump in and touch on some of the finer points that I might not have delved into, because it's a really important subject, especially when we're talking about dosing cannabis for medicine versus the recreational aspect. Because as I spoke about it before, the trick in dosing cannabis properly is getting right at that high point, that peak of that biphasic curve where you're in that therapeutic window. All right. So it's really that microdose where we're going to optimize that endocannabinoid system. Remember, our native endocannabinoid system works through a series of receptors and chemicals inside our body that operate in very minute amounts, very small amounts. So that's the trick with microdosing, to approximate that native system of balance inside our bodies. That's the reason why we don't want to dose our bodies too much and then expose ourselves to cannabinoid, a concentration of cannabinoid that our bodies just wouldn't recognize. When our bodies get a dose of cannabinoid that's much higher than what we'd natively recognize inside our bodies, then what happens is our cells take these cannabinoid receptors and they just withdraw them back within the cell so that we can protect our cells from being exposed to a concentration of cannabinoid that it's not going to be able to handle, because it's going to cause a downstream reaction that's a lot more than what the intended effect would normally be. All right. So that's the reason why we want to keep it in that natural range. Another thing that I didn't touch on, a very important aspect, is the economic impact of microdosing. Okay, folks, because you simply use less. That's huge when you consider the fact that you can use a smaller amount of product, still get a durable response, okay, a durable clinical response, meaning you get that euphoria, you're able to address your symptoms, be it PTSD type symptoms, the anxious type symptoms that come with PTSD, the hypervigilance, that sort of thing. You're able to address those type symptoms. It could also include physical pain, all right, physical pain or emotional anguish, yet without compromising our ability to function in our day-to-day lives as productive adults. All right. So you're able to have that economic impact of saving money, having control over your dose. When you're able to control that dose and you're in the driver's seat and you're able to hit that sweet spot, you get a big boost of confidence because you're still able to use the marijuana and get that high that you're looking for. Okay, make no mistake, I still want patients to be able to get that feeling of euphoria and that overall feeling of just happy wellness and confidence that they can control how their health outcomes are. Okay, so that's the big win. And when you can do that and save money, save those Benjamins, that's a real incentive versus someone who uses their product irresponsibly and they're wasting money because they're taking in too big a dose, then their body will know what to do with. So not only are they not getting the clinical benefit, they're missing out on the economic benefit. They're wasting money. So kudos to those who use it intelligently and optimize their endocannabinoid system the proper way, the natural way, the way we do it in the natural state, guys. And they get that economic impact and a lot of confidence that comes with that, okay? So let's just touch into this again. How do we optimize that endocannabinoid system the natural way, the proper way? Okay, pro tip number one, full spectrum stuff, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, when you use the full spectrum flower, okay, you can also get full spectrum other products, be it Rick Simpson oil. But when you start to distill down the cannabinoids and you move from the flower to some other product that requires some degree of manufacturing, then what's going to happen is you're going to strip any one of the many of the over 600 chemicals, the 600 chemical constituents that are in cannabis, which includes the terpenes, the flavonoids. The cannabinoids number in about 100 out of these 600 chemicals, only 50 of which are useful. All right. But my main point is when you get that full suite of chemicals, the flavonoids, the aromatic terpenes that fall on the nasal palate, okay, when you get those in conjunction with the cannabinoids, you get the full spectrum of everything, how it's supposed to work, that symphony of chemicals, how they work in nature. All right, you get them all working together. And when you go to a more manufactured, a more concentrated preparation, what you lose is that delicate interplay of all of the terpenes and cannabinoids working together and modulating their effect so that you don't get too psychotoxic of an effect, and you can actually bolster the interesting nature and the introspection and the vivid experience, that totality of the sensory experience. You're only going to get that from a full spectrum preparation. Okay, the interplay of everything. It's for that same reason that for when you're considering the whole flower, the standard dose, the THC percentage dose is going to fall somewhere between 2 and 5 milligrams, right? Not percentage, but weight per volume amount. All right, 2 to 5 milligrams for a whole flower, full spectrum flower, versus when you have a concentrated preparation, you don't have that full suite of terpenes and flavonoids and accessory cannabinoids. So you're going to require a higher THC amount, closer on the realm of maybe 7.5 to 10 milligrams THC, to get that same degree of euphoria, because you don't have the accessory players to bolster that effect and augment that effect and enhance some degree of that effect while mitigating the other less desirable effects. Case in point, when you consider preparations that are full spectrum that have that CBD, patients report less of the dull stoned lethargy that you get with preparations that don't have the CBD. Limonene, pinene are also good accessories to this effect in decreasing that short-term memory impairment that you get with higher THC preparations. Again, bolstering this argument for full spectrum. This is what we describe when we're talking about the entourage effect. When you have that entourage effect, it somewhat negates the need to take a higher dose. When you focus on the entourage effect, you're able to mitigate the need to take a higher dose, and you can microdose and do this effectively, taking a THC dose along the 2.5 to 5 milligram range, and still get that full effect and still feel zoned and not stoned and able to carry on with your regular productive day. So I just wanted to add those important points regarding full spectrum versus processed preparations, where you get a concentrated THC dose without getting that added benefit of the accessory cannabinoids and terpenoids in their native acid forms. Okay, so I just wanted to throw that out there, guys. When you're able to get the full spectrum, you get the full benefit of the entourage effect versus these concentrated narrow spectrum preparations where you don't quite get that. You get the THC portion of it, but it's standing almost alone without all of its buddies in nature helping it out, helping to do that effect and really turn on that endocannabinoid system in a manner that it can recognize and be purposeful and useful towards our wellness. All right. So I just wanted to touch on that real quick, guys. I didn't want to give you more bites than what could be useful. Happy Monday, by the way, guys. It's always nice to reach out and let you guys know what's going on in the great wide world of cannabis medicine. With that, I'm out. Dr. Dan, Ozark MMJ Cards. out. Enjoy your Monday. Love you guys. Bye.